Hello, I'm Dennis Pullin. One of my favorite parts about being president and CEO of Virtua Health is getting to know our colleagues and the many ways they are here for good. Each person contributes to healthy communities, and each person has a story to tell. Let's meet one. So thank you for joining us on Here for Good.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm told that you and I have a few things in common.
First of all, I grew up in Woodbury, so not too far from here. Then I left to go to college at Georgetown University, and then I went to medical school and trained at Howard University.
So I worked for many years just across the street from Howard there at the Washington Hospital Center in D.C.
Did you really?
I did. We may have been there at the same time. And so you went to medical school at Howard?
Yes.
Okay, so of all of the specialties, OB?
Yeah, it's so funny because when I went to medical school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I started out with gastroenterology. I said I was going to do that. Then I went to neurology. I said I was going to do that. Every specialty I went to, I was going to do. So my last rotation was OBGYN, and I just fell in love with it.
What was it about OB that really sort of drew you in?
I think it was the obstetric side, the happy part. Over time, I've realized that I like the variety. Some days you're delivering babies. Some days you're in the operating room. Some days you're in the office. Some days you're doing minor procedures. So there's a lot of variety. It's not the same thing every day.
Yeah, but you got to experience the miracle of birth on a daily basis. I'm sure that touched you in a way that nothing else could.
There is nothing better. And, 99% of the time it's great, but then there's a few times when it's not so great. But, for the most part, our patients are young, they're healthy, there's not a lot of morbidity or mortality.
And they're looking forward to the outcome.
Absolutely. And it's something they'll never forget.
So you say you grew up near Woodbury.
Yes.
What brought you back to New Jersey?
During those 12 years, somewhere along the line, I got married, had a baby, and we decided after that we wanted to come back and be near family.
You spent quite a few years at Our Lady of Lourdes.
Correct.
Tell me about that experience.
So I took my first job at a residency at Lourdes at the Osborne Family Health Center, and it was great. There were other physicians there that continued to mentor and teach, and I'll never forget, I told my sister, I said, I love my job. She said, I don't know anybody that says they love their job. I said, I love my job. And I continued that for several years and then advanced into private practice.
What advice would you give to someone else that's interesting or maybe think they want to pursue a career in healthcare, and particularly being a physician?
I think it's a great career. You end up having a great lifestyle. You help so many people. So I think you have to have that helping kind of spirit in you. And if you don't, this is not the field for you. I tell people you have to love what you do. That's the only way you're going to be able to get up every day and do what you do.
What makes, in your opinion, a good doctor?
Somebody that listens, somebody that doesn't judge, somebody that has compassion. Because you can have all the book smarts in the world, but I feel like if you don't have those three things, you're not going to make it.
Because you won't connect with your patient.
Exactly.
And that's part of the healing process, is having that connection such that the patient have confidence in you, and you have some confidence that your patient believes in what you're sharing and telling and advising them to do.
Exactly.
And so now, tell me a little bit about how you practice medicine now.
I stopped delivering babies about 2 years ago. So now
Got tired of getting up in the middle of the night?
Exactly. Okay. Getting too old to get up in the middle of the night. There is something to be said about uninterrupted sleep as you get older.
Yes.
So now I practice just gynecology only. And so I'm in the office 5 days a week. I still do surgery a few times a month, but a much easier lifestyle at this point.
Talk about easy lifestyle. So when you're not performing surgery, when you're not seeing patients, what is it that captures your attention?
So my husband and I, we like to travel, and we like to travel with the girls as well. But I also like to play golf. Living in New Jersey, I can only play for 6 months out of the year. So a few weeks ago, I was going through withdrawal because I couldn't get out on the golf course. But now spring is coming, so now I like to play golf.
So that's something else we share. I absolutely have a passion for golf. Unfortunately, my passion and my skills don't sort of reconcile the way I would like. Is there anything in particular that draws you to the game, or do you have a group that you play with, or tell me sort of what that looks like?
I consider myself pretty athletic. I thought it was going to be easy, but there is nothing easy about hitting that little tiny ball into a hole. But so I like the challenge. And then there's a group of ladies that I play with. They're called the Greens Ladies.
Greens Ladies.
The Greens Ladies. We play every Saturday. And it's the oldest African-American women's golf club in the tri-state area.
Really?
So this year we're celebrating our 70th anniversary.
What is it, though, about the game of golf that just really, for me, it's the bonds that I create with the guys that I play with on a regular basis. You know, you sort of look forward to that. With ladies, is that similar?
It's the same. It's the same. It's having this bond of that we all love golf. And just getting together, the camaraderie, socialization. There's women of all ages, women of all backgrounds, women of all education, but we all have one thing in common, that we love golf.
It's sort of the neutralizer. It gives you something in common that you can talk about, that you can share, and everything else. Nothing else matters other than your joy of the game. I know you volunteer for the New Jersey Seed program, which is one of our programs that helps us to sort of bridge that health equity gap, you know, having a mobile mammography unit that goes out and see patients. So do you see that cancer screening for women, vulnerable women, women of color, is something that we need to put more time and energy into, and that's why you donate your time?
Absolutely, absolutely. You see that women of color, black and brown women, we don't always take care of ourselves. We take care of everybody else, but we don't take care of ourselves. And we put ourselves on the back burner. A lot of times we don't have health care that we can go and have these screenings done. Can't get your mammogram, can't get your pap smear, or we just don't even know that those are the things we need to do every year. So this is a way that I can give back. I can provide this care to this population of people that may not necessarily afford it or may not necessarily know that they need it.
Yeah, and I think that's the part for me that's I've always felt one of the biggest challenges we have in healthcare is health literacy, helping people to become better consumers of the services that we can offer. And often it's because they just don't know, or they don't know how to navigate. So do you find if you spend more time helping women in particular better understand the things that they can do, things they shouldn't do, services that are available? Because oftentimes people don't know that the services are available. Do you feel it's your role as a physician to spend a little more time in helping to educate people how to be better consumers of our services?
Absolutely. Definitely my role as a Black female, as a physician, as a mother, as a wife. Yes, that is my role. And I also take a special interest in young girls, educating them about their bodies, about the things that they need moving forward, the things that they need to do to stay healthy. So I look at it as it's a blessing that I'm able to do it.
I would agree with you. I think that is what the definition of being here for good is all about. And I think Virtua and this community are fortunate to have someone like you that have dedicated your life to taking care of those, and many of those that might not otherwise get the care that they need. So thank you for everything that you do, and thank you for appearing on Here for Good.
Thank you for having me.
What a wonderful opportunity to speak with one of our superstar physicians. And so join in next time as we bring to you another episode of Here for Good, the Inside Edition.